Call this meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. So before the roll call, we'll go into the Pledge of Allegiance. We don't have student trustees. Oh, Stephanie. Trustee De La Rosa, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? One last time.
Hello, hello. Okay. Everyone place their right hand over their heart. And I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Mari, roll call, please.
President Adonis Galaza Toledo,
Here.
Vice President Jesus Gonzalez,
Present.
Clerk Jocelyn Vargas,
Here.
Joey Acuña Jr., Trinidad Arredondo,
Present.
Valerie Garcia,
Here.
Silvia Paz. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to recognitions, student trustee recognition. Stephanie De La Rosa. You want to stand? Go to the podium. Go to the podium. So Stephanie, Trustee De La Rosa, thank you for your commitment, your countless hours of being here, listening to us debate, yap, whatever you want to call it. But it's been a true honor to have you serve on this board. I know that you will do great and succeed in all your future endeavors, and I wish you nothing but luck and success. No, luck, no, because you don't need luck. You'll make sure that it happens. But I do wish you a lot of success. Do any of my colleagues want to share any words with our student trustee before I give her the time to speak?
Just wanted to thank my partner in crime on this end of the dark side of the table over here. It's been fun, and again, some of your thoughts and your insights, things that maybe we don't see, have been very valuable for us in making decisions. And I want to thank you, and also being active not only here but at your own school and with other things. And I'll give you a little shout out. You guys went crazy the other night at the Folklorico program down at Desert Mirage. You guys did a great job, so congratulations. And as we said that night, go off, do well, come back and take one of our places here. All right, thank you. Definitely just all the blessings in the world as you go forward, right? I think you're leaving now, and 4 years will go by and you'll come back, and it'll all happen very, very quickly. Enjoy your time in school. Sometimes it's challenging, right? Being away from home, and if you can manage that, I'm sure everything else will just fall into place. All the blessings in the world to what you do and in school and what you do after you finish in school. It's been great having you up here. Go ahead.
Thank you for your time on the board with us, Trustee De La Rosa. It's been good to just have these conversations and get your insights on some of the things that you wanted to do and some of the things that you suggested to us. I know that you had a conversation with several of us, but just congratulations on getting into UC Irvine, and wish you, I know you will have a lot of success there. So we look forward to your return once you complete. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for your time here. I feel like I got to know you a little better because of the conference that we went to at the very beginning of December. So I'm so impressed by each of the trustees, but so impressed with you, Stephanie, and wish you all the best. And please reach out if you need anything. We're still here to support you as far as that goes. So please, we hope that we've prepared you, but we're always here as a resource for you. All right. Thank you so much.
Go ahead.
I also want to thank you for the time that you've dedicated to us and to improving your own school, your own community. And I really look forward to those 4 years going by fast and having you back. So thank you.
Yeah, I think everybody you've already shared, how amazing you are, and thank you so much for stepping up. I know, I'm sure it's hard to be up here with us. But yeah, I think you did a great job, and you had a lot of contributions, to the perspective of what we should be doing with the district. So I really appreciate that, and yeah, wish you luck.
Yeah, thank you. Before I pass it on to Dr. Valentina, I just remembered one thing I should say, right? I think now that the purpose of this student trustee position was created to add value to the discussion of the board and to get the student perspective on this dais, right? But at the same time, there's other intents, right? That this position allows our students to develop a passion for public service, a passion for representing, a passion for a greater good of our community, right? And I hope that this experience has given you that. I really hope that and if it didn't give you that, it gave you the certainty that either you want to dedicate your life to public service, or it's something that you want to stay away as far as possible, right? But that it gave you that experience to be able to make that decision and follow a path that you will create as you navigate, the next stage of your life. So thank you for everything. Thank you for your dedication to our school district, and thank you for dedication to your students and your colleagues. Dr. Valentino?
Thank you. So just very briefly, I think what most people don't know is that not only did you attend the board meetings, but you met with us planning the board meetings. So you interacted with your peers at other schools, gathering information, and leadership manifests itself in different ways. And you definitely demonstrated it from the student perspective. And so there's a lot that a lot of your peers will learn from having interacted with you, because not only were you engaged with us as a student trustee, but you're also a dancer, athletics. And many times when we were meeting on Mondays, you were on your cell phone, either at the studio or on the track. So you burned the candles on both ends. And so your dedication to the district is greatly appreciated, and your impact will live on long after you've left. So thank you, Stephanie.
So with that being said, before I present this to you, do you have anything you want to say?
Yes, I did. Well, first of all, just thank you so much for the opportunity and just being able to sit with you guys in the dais. I learned so much from it. And yeah, like you said, the public service, just watching you guys or, being active in the discussions, it's really insightful. I learned a lot. And I think it helped also with my public speaking and just leadership as well, as you mentioned. And yeah, I've learned a lot from it. And I think was an amazing experience for me. And I'll definitely remember it and use it for when I come back. Thank you so much for everything. Yeah.
Thank you. With that being said, we have this beautiful plaque that we want to present to you. Okay. Oh, yeah, of course. Would you like to recognize anybody in the audience, your family, your parents?
And of course, my mom, who always came, to the board meetings, who brought me here and was my little support. Yeah, thank you. Shout out to you, Mom.
With that being said, Stephanie, we have this beautiful plaque that we would like to present to you, stating honoring student board trustee Stephanie De La Rosa in recognition and appreciation of your service, leadership, and commitment to our district. Thank you. You have been an inspiration to all of us. On behalf of the Coachella Valley Unified School District Board of Trustees and Administration on June 2023. Thank you. Your mom and me? Yes. Thank you. And Dr. Williams has a goodie bag for you. Awesome. Moving on to item 2.1, recognition of new administrator academy participants. Dr. Ellis.
So much and good evening, Superintendent Valentino, Board President Galarza, and board members and my fellow cabinet members. I'm here today to present our Grow Your Own Leadership Academy that we did this year. We have two separate academies that we did. One of them was with our new administrators. We had them go through a 5-module academy, and then we had aspiring leaders that are current members of our department, our district. And so we offered them a academy to go through as a Grow Your Own program. They attended 5 different modules. The first one being human resources, where we covered a framework of leadership competencies, skillful leader, risk monitoring and evaluation, feedback, difficult conversations, and the discipline process. They then went to student support services, and the support services provided professional development for them on mental health, suspension, expulsion requirements, attendance, special education best practices, and family engagement. Module 3 was provided by Educational Services. They covered EL best practices, reviewing the core curriculum and program expectations. They did student grading criteria and board policies, district, state, and federal assessments, expectations, and requirements and guidelines. And then module 4 was provided by Business Services. They reviewed their philosophical expectations, facilities, fiscal systems, maintenance and operations, nutrition services, purchasing and warehouse, and reprographics procedures. And then finally, module 5 was conducted by HR Risk Management, where they went over conducting complaint investigations, risk management, and workman comp claims and how to handle and avoid those. So I really want to acknowledge our staff members, certificated and classified, that participated in our new administrators academy. And we'd like to present them with a certificate tonight. Dr. Valentino, would you mind coming up and helping me present, and then maybe they can get a picture with everybody? Would be great. So we have 18 members that have completed all 5 modules, and so they get a certificate tonight. They also are guaranteed to be screened in for the next interview process and leadership that they would be applying for. We did have 28 applicants that completed the program, but may not have been able to attend all 5 modules. So there are 28 participants, and we're going to recognize 18 tonight. So we'd like to, when I call your name, if you'll come on up, please. Anna Alvarado, she's our accounting manager currently. I know some of them couldn't be here tonight, but I would like to call all their names. David Bacham, Director of Facilities Development and Planning. Susan Alvarez St. Salver, Budget Analyst. Melissa Box, Transportation Supervisor. Folder got stuck here. Cindy Bradley, Coordinator of Professional Development. Karina De La Pena, Elementary School Principal. Virginia Mayer, High School Assistant Principal. Jean Marie, I'm going to mess up your name. Jean Marie DeGarin, did I say that correctly? Coordinator of Early Learners. Is there her name correctly? She's not here. Okay. Sorry, I'm very sorry if I messed up her name. Jennifer Iyer, Elementary Assistant Principal. Victor Labastida, Maintenance and Operations Supervisor. Cindy Maldonado, Director of Classified Personnel. Jessica Mendoza, elementary school principal. Armando Ozuna, transportation supervisor. Gustavo Pais, director of security and safety. Diana Salinas, director of fiscal services. Leticia Torres, project manager, facilities and planning. Debbie Valencia, coordinator of health and safety. And Adam Warren, middle school principal. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you for completing this new administrator academy with us. We appreciate your hard work and dedication, and congratulations on your leadership journey this year. We look forward to seeing you continue to grow in the district. Would you mind coming down and taking pictures with all of them? That we would like to recognize are our aspiring leaders for our district. These are our current employees that have also completed 5 modules at night for training. They were here from 4:30 until 7. We did feed them, but they were here on their own time. So we're very proud of the beginning of our Grow Your Own program with our aspiring leaders. So if I call your name, would you please come on up? Lydia Villegas, budget specialist. Leslie Dickinson, teacher Sal Martinez. Mary Felix, accounting assistant 1. Doreen Vaccaro Morales, teacher special education. Lorena Pampa, accounting assistant 2. Rogelio Mendez, paraeducator behavior intervention. Eglaye Puga. Is that right? All right. Elementary assistant principal. Shane Reyes, teacher, Taro Canyon Middle School. Davian Rosales, senior account clerk 2. Christine Tinsley, education specialist consulting teacher. Wendy Valdez, teacher, Bobby Duke Middle School. Karina Vega, K-12 counselor. Miriam Villa Sanchez, teacher, Coachella Valley High School. Cynthia Aranda Valenzuela, teacher, Coachella Valley High School. Diana Ariosa, school psychologist. Carla Corona, executive administrative specialist. Penelope De Leon, Accounting Assistant 2. Carla Garcia, Associate Marriage and Family Therapist. Megan Green, Intervention Teacher Leader Specialist. Mario Lara Jr., IT Project Analyst. And Maria Aguilar, Teacher, West Shores High School. So all of the names that I called tonight were people who have attended all 5 modules. We did have 33 people enrolled in the program. And so thank you for being here tonight. We want to recognize your hard work. We're excited to see your leadership journey as you continue through your career at Coachella Valley Unified. And thank you for coming with us every night. And I hope you enjoyed and it was well worth your time. So thank you so much. Congratulations.
Okay, moving on. Just thank you to all of our academy participants. And I know that you will continue to grow in our school district. So thank you all. Now moving on to closed session. Can I get a motion to enter into closed session? Go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry, I just want to make a comment that it's exciting to, since I've been on the board, I think the entire board has pushed our superintendent to grow from within, right? To create leadership. It always, I don't know, for me at the beginning, it always seemed like the answers came from somewhere else. And I think we have a lot of talent here within ourselves. And I commend the leadership for creating this program possibility so that we can continue to incubate, create leadership from within. And obviously it takes a lot of time away from what you guys do daily, and just a great job. And I'm sure long-term it'll allow you to move wherever you decide to move within the structure of the organization. And we're just happy that we're leaders from within, and great job.
Anybody else? Go ahead, sir.
Just want to say congratulations to everybody in the program. And I hope that we continue to maybe have the next level of getting to know how to do things in our district for everybody to continue to grow in their position and continue to be part of our homegrown leadership. So thank you for everybody that took the time. I know it's time away from your families, away from your work, but it is important work. So thank you all for doing that.
Seeing none, can I get a motion by Mr. Gonzalez? Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Arredondo. All those in favor? Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. We will be back at 7 p.m. Test.
Yes, nope.
No, we're not.
You're gonna yell.
Yes.
Well, first they were. Out. They were. No, now they're.
Wait a second.
Can I get a motion to enter into open session?
So moved.
Second. Motion by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Arredondo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Madam Clerk, any action taken in a closed session?
Yes. Hello? Okay. The board took action during closed session to appoint Francis Esparza as Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services effective on this 8th day of June 2023. Motion was made by trustee Arredondo, seconded by trustee Gonzalez. Motion carried 7-0. Oh. The board took action during closed session to appoint Thomas Tucker as middle school principal at Toro Canyon Middle School effective June 9th on this 8th day of June. Motion was made by trustee Arredondo, seconded by trustee Garcia. Motion was made 7-0. Motion was carried 7-0. The board took action during closed session to appoint Bernardo Valenzuela as Director of Certificated Human Resources effective June 9th, 2023 on this 8th day of June 2023. Motion was made by trustee Arredondo, seconded by trustee Gonzalez, and the motion carried 7-0. The board took action during closed session to appoint Michael Boomer as elementary principal at Coral Mountain Academy effective June 9, 2023 on this 8th day of June 2023. Motion was made by trustee Arredondo, seconded by trustee Vargas. Motion carried 7-0. The board took action during closed session to appoint Dr. Melinda Gonzalez as elementary principal of Westside Elementary effective June 9, 2023 on this 8th day of June 2023. Motion was made by trustee Arredondo, seconded by trustee Gonzalez. Motion carried 7-0. The last item, the board took action during closed session to approve a settlement agreement in a disciplinary matter with employee ID number 2022-11/474. Motion was made by trustee Gonzalez, seconded by trustee Galarza, and the motion carried 7-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, can I get a motion to approve agenda submitted?
I motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Arredondo. All those in favor?
Aye. The other way around.
Opposed? Oh,
No, nothing.
any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Public comment. At this time, we'll move into open session public comment. This time is for any members of the public to address the governing board. Please be aware that comments are limited at 3 minutes per comment, 20 minutes per subject matter. So I do see that we have quite a few for the same topic, so we'll make sure to cut it off after 20 minutes, just FYI. Moving on, so Beatriz Felix. Oh, and the board is not always at liberty of taking action or responding to items not listed on the agenda. Go ahead.
Ok, bueno, hola, buenas noches. Mi nombre es Beatriz Félix, madre de dos hijas de Desert Mirage High School, una hija en Saúl Martínez, en Coming Soon, uno de Head Start. Yo solo quiero hacer énfasis en la importancia de dirigir los fondos escolares correctamente. ¿Para qué gastar en Teacher Listen y aparte en un entrenador? No entiendo. ¿No es mejor contratar a alguien capacitado con la experiencia en el primer lugar? Ahora, estos fondos pueden ser dirigidos a algo más importante, como por ejemplo, talleres y actividades familiares en las escuelas para así crear un ambiente sano entre familias y maestros. Se tiene que hacer conciencia de estos gastos que se hacen en las escuelas. Hay que ser astutos. Capacitaciones de resolución de conflictos deberían de ser parte del currículum de la escuela para capacitar a los estudiantes que lamentablemente muchos de los padres no sabemos cómo hacerlo. También se necesita capacitar a los maestros para que sepan cómo lidiar con los estudiantes. A mí me ha tocado como algunos maestros, pero no todos, porque yo sé que hay muchos muy buenos maestros, se han dirigido muy potentes hacia los estudiantes. Mi hija tuvo un maestro en el cual él le decía a los estudiantes que ellos estaban tontos o tontas porque no tenían la misma ideología que él. Y eso me hace pensar que ese maestro es un poco ignorante sobre cómo resolver problemas, al igual como respetar las opiniones de otros, incluyendo estudiantes, porque ellos copian todas las cosas que los adultos hacemos. Uno de adulto quiere respeto, pero hay que enseñarlo para poder recibirlo. Nosotros somos el ejemplo, los padres, las familias, los maestros y nuestra comunidad entera. No sé si ustedes han oído del dicho que dice se toma una aldea para educar a un niño. Es verdad, porque muchos aprenden de nosotros. Y mejor, ay, ya me perdí. Y en casa a veces uno no puede hacerlo y es donde la escuela hace step-in como parte de la aldea. Les recomiendo leer el libro Los Cuatro Acuerdos, ahí les va a dar muchos detalles sobre eso. Queremos llegar a nuestras escuelas que tengan detector, no queremos llegar a eso que haya detectores de metal y un sinnúmero de policías revisándonos y que nos estemos lamentando. Podemos actuar en este momento y podemos hacer el cambio y instruir estos fondos a donde vayan. Y no voy a poder terminar, pero muchas gracias por su tiempo.
Gracias. Really quick question for the next public comments. I have Brandon, Daniela. Are you guys going to comment on the LCAP or is it just general comments? LCAP? Okay. Is it the same for community justice campaign, folks? Yeah, LCAP. Okay, I'm gonna hold on to these for the public hearing. Peter Sturgeon.
President Gallarza, board members, Dr. Valentino, thank you for having me here tonight. My name is Peter Sturgeon, and I'm the president of the John F. Kennedy Memorial Foundation. And simply put, our mission is to build strong families in the Coachella Valley. We are here tonight to thank you for your support of a program that strengthens young women, the Ophelia Project. The Ophelia Project is a women's mentoring program for adolescent girls from 8th grade to 12th grade, where our Ophelia volunteer female mentors go into the schools to come alongside girls in the Coachella Valley with the mission to empower and encourage these teen girls to increase their sense of self-worth and maximize their potential contribution to society. Session content in the past has covered things like nutrition, fitness, personal and internet safety, money management, college and vocational school awareness, healthy relationships, self-awareness, goal setting, and more. And for the last 11 years, CVUSD has invited our Ophelia mentors into 3 of your schools, Desert Mirage High School, Coachella Valley High School, and Toro Canyon Middle School. And during that time, we've enrolled 859 CVUSD girls. 44 have been awarded Ophelia Project scholarships totaling over $40,000. Ophelia mentors are currently serving in 14 schools in the Valley while mentoring 313 girls. School counselors select girls who may have some challenges and obstacles, but who show great promise. Our data reveals that as girls enter the program, the average GPA is 1.88. Upon graduation, the average GPA for that cohort is 3.89. Ophelia Girl high school graduation rate is 100%. And we all know that the pandemic took a harsh toll on teen girls' health. It was recently cited in the CDC poll, with dramatic increases in anxiety, depression, and despondency. Yet despite that, all these obstacles and hurdles, this year's graduating class of all senior Ophelia girls across the Valley had the following success. First of all, continuing the tradition of 100% graduation. That was true. Out of the 47 seniors in Ophelia throughout the 9 high schools this year, 36 applied for scholarship support. The average GPA of these 36 girls, 3.92. 21 had a GPA of 4.0 or better. One Ophelia girl had the class rank of 2nd. That's 2nd out of 462 students. And I have 5 seconds left, so I just wanted to thank you, and I'm going to introduce my next important person here. Arias, come on up. Thank you so much for your support. Too long, too windy. Thank you.
Thank you. Arias Ayala?
Hi, my name is Arias Ayala, and I would like to thank you for all your support. And I have been an Ophelia girl for 4 years now, and I am a recent graduate. And I would like to say that this is an amazing program. I remember my counselors calling me into her office and presenting me this. And I was like, wow, this is something new. And I felt intrigued. And as a shy girl, I had never thought I'd be involved in something, but being involved in this program has expanded me as a person, and I learned so much and learning lots of things. And I was able to learn things that I've never been taught before, and it expanded my knowledge, and I'm not so scared out in the real world now. And I think other girls should be more involved in this program. I've never felt like I was part of something, and this made me feel like I was part of something big. And just being able to be in a room filled with other girls and being able to be heard and in a small group is really great, because you get to share all your different ideas, and it was something special. I remember leaving every meeting feeling amazing and just excited and not afraid. And I didn't really know what I wanted to be when I was starting out in high school, but being in this program has helped me so much. And I feel like I can accomplish anything. And I just hope that this program is able to stick around, because it was amazing. And I can see all the expansion it has caused in the other girls. They're no longer shy to speak up, learning different things, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. And I think it was really amazing. And I hope that it stays around. Thank you very much for listening. And thank you again for all your support.
Thank you. I'm gonna need some help pronouncing your name, ma'am.
My name is Virginia Dvorak.
Oh, okay, Virginia, what, I'm sorry?
Dvorak.
Dvorak, okay, thank you. Mike, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Virginia Dvorak. It's been my pleasure to work with your girls at Coachella Valley High School since 2019. I have spent time with them during COVID doing sessions with Zoom. And it's really been a pleasure to meet these girls. They're all very nice and respectful. We create a safe space and we all have different experiences and different personalities, but we bring this to the sessions. And it's really been rewarding to see their confidence grow over this time and their maturity over the years, and just see them come out of their shell and start to see what they can be. We talk about different life skills. We try to have fun, and we talk about what is of interest to them. There are leadership opportunities and communication, relationships, emotional intelligence, money management, of course, and as well as other topics that we do cover. It's really been a pleasure for me to spend time with your girls. As I said, they're very nice girls, and I really appreciate the support of the counselors at the school, as well as Dr. Meyer there, who has helped us in the program this last year. And I thank you, and thank you for more support. I'll just give you one example. I asked the girls one time to share a success story, because it's a safe space. It's a place that you can say something good without bragging. And one girl said, "Oh, I'm not a success." And I said, "Well, have you ever studied for a test and done well?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "You are a success." And then later on, I asked, "Tell us something you've done creative." And the girl said, "I'm not creative." Well, have you ever done this? So we're trying to get them to know how valuable they are and what opportunities are out there for them in their life. So I thank you for your support in advance. Thank you.
Thank you, Virginia. Nadia Guerrero.
Hi, my name is Nadia Guerrero. Thank you for having me today. I graduated from Coachella Valley High School and am currently a student at Cal State San Bernardino, where I'm majoring in liberal studies. I was fortunate to receive a scholarship through Ophelia, which helped me complete my first year, and was an Ophelia girl all my 4 years of high school. Not only does the program help financially, but the Ophelia Project is a remarkable program that allows young women like myself the opportunity to find their voices and provides them with the tools necessary to strive. This project allows us to hear from women from different career paths to share their stories, which is not only empowering but inspiring, motivating girls by letting them know that anything is possible. I am proud to say that the Ophelia Project left an everlasting mark on who I am as a person. When I first started, I was also a shy and timid girl, which is something I still am working on. But without Ophelia, I would have never been able to become one of the first CVHS ambassadors, a leadership role I would have never thought possible. The program helped me in ways unimaginable and has really allowed me to explore connections and become more comfortable within myself and others. In addition to teaching the importance of self-worth and empowerment, the program grants girls with a secure space for expression. I always looked forward to meeting with my mentors and the girls, as it was a place of constant reassurance and gave me an overall sense of community. I was able to learn how to build a healthy environment, set intentions, and how to empathize with others, which is something I still carry on with me throughout my everyday life, thanks to Ophelia. Ophelia's mission is to not only help but uplift young women by instilling confidence and self-determination, which is crucial for girls, especially within today's society. I'm eternally grateful for the role Ophelia has played in my life and hope many other girls like me get the opportunity of being an Ophelia girl. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Are there any other public comments that are not related to LCAP or any of the public hearing? No, thank you. We'll move on. Communications, no written communications, Maddie?
None were submitted, no.
Thank you. We don't have a student trustee tonight, no report, tier. Board member reports, Mr. Acuna?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Not a whole lot going on other than our graduations, which were great. They've been, you always see a lot of people that especially if you've grown up in the valley, you get to see a lot of friends and family that you haven't seen, and seeing all their kids graduate, and the hope and the promise. And we've had some great kids that are going all over the place, all kinds of colleges, careers, some to the military. And I think we do a good job, regardless of what the media or others might want to say about our district. We do a good job, and these kids are succeeding. We can always do better, obviously, but I think that's a testament to all the kids that have been promoting. We have one more left, which is the adult ed, which is usually one of my favorite ones, because those are the people who had struggles and found a way to come back and make it through. I did want to give out a quick shout out. And I also wanted to say the Afilo project has been a really great project that I've seen, my time on the board and even in the district. It's been one of those, I don't want to say under the radar programs, but you don't hear a lot about them, but they do a great job. They just do the job. And parents, when you talk to parents, they appreciate it, and you talk to the students. And so they're one of those groups, not too loud, not too flashy, but they do a really, really good job with our young girls. And I wanted to thank them. And then lastly, I just wanted to do a shout out to all those that were responsible for the Desert Mirage folklorico program that happened last week. It was an amazing program. I kind of kidded Stephanie that she was one of the dancers. As a senior, they had a whole program just with some of the seniors that are graduating or graduated this year. It was an amazing program, and it hadn't been around for a couple of years due to COVID, and they finally got it all back. We got dancers from across the valley. I believe UCR had some of their dancers there as well. And it was just one of those amazing programs. So again, I wanted to, didn't want them to get lost in between all the graduations, but they did a really, really good job. And that's pretty much my report.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Garcia?
Yes, so I was able to go to the Evening with the Stars, which was amazing to see all of our employees getting recognized. We recognized employees who were retiring, employees who had received awards. It was so much fun to give prizes. So it seemed like everyone was having a really good time. It was so much fun. We're people powered as a district. So it was really excellent to celebrate all of the staff that was there. So that was really, really excellent. I've also been able to go to the graduation circuit, and it's such a meaningful time to see our community come together, all of the parents, everyone, it's a village, getting our students through whatever part of their journey in their student career that they're in. And it was just so touching to see the parent support, the family support, all of that. So it was really excellent. We are almost done, but really, really amazing. So beautiful to see. That's my report. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Trustee Arredondo?
Hey, good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. It's always good to see the public, the support staff, everybody that helps our district succeed. Just real quick, I got to attend all the graduations this year. I was very happy to attend them. And a couple of things that we've talked about today in facilities that I'm really excited about. Palmview Phase 5, district-wide fencing, North Shore Elementary School, and projects going on at various school sites throughout the summer. So I'm really excited just to see, everything come full circle. I want to give a shout out to the Migrant EL program, as they invited me to their awards ceremony. And I was able to come, and just great job to all the staff that were here. And just looking forward to continue to keep hearing these updates. So with that, that's my report. President.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Paz?
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I look forward to the meeting, and I have nothing to report. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Trustee Vargas?
The only thing I'll report, well, I also attended graduation ceremonies. They were great. The only other thing I wanted to share, for the residents, I guess it's for everybody. But the committee, the North Shore Committee, application is available on our webpage. So, really highly encourage residents to apply. It's fairly simple application, but this committee will be, providing feedback and input around the mascot. I think the colors of the school. So I know that there were a lot of parents that were really interested. So the deadline was extended to June 30th. So please apply. We want to make sure that parents are engaged and they're part of the process as we, get ready to open our school. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes, I just want to welcome everybody here. I have.
Thank you, sir. Can I say one more thing? Go ahead, sir.
Just one more thing. I want to congratulate Mr. Eduardo Servin from Cesar Chavez. He was my second grade teacher and he is retiring this year. So I'm definitely going to miss you, Mr. Servin. Thank you for everything you did for me as a second grader. That's it.
Good stuff. As far as for me, I'd like to take a moment to really congratulate and thank you all as we just wrapped up another academic year and head into summer vacation. I know that it was a tough year for all of us. It's been a last tough couple last years, right? But as we continue to learn and continue to grow from the situations that we've been, the pandemic, I think we've only become stronger and stronger as a school district and as a community. I too attended the graduations. It was my, as much as I kind of just didn't want to sit for long hours, I really enjoyed the end of every ceremony when each student walked through that aisle, through that stage and shook our hands with a great smile. But even better was walking out and seeing parents and our students celebrate, right, with joy and happiness and pride, right? So I'm very, very, very proud of each and every one of our students, very proud of our staff who made it possible. That concludes my report. Thank you, Dr. Valentino.
Yeah, thank you, President Galarza. Just briefly, I want to thank the teachers and staff at each one of our schools for moving the work forward and supporting our students. It was a tough year, but you all leaned in and ensured that each one of our students received what they needed. So thank you for that. To the district staff and leadership, thank you for supporting those at our sites to make sure that happened. Moving forward, there is a great deal of hope and expectation that we will continue to leverage what we've done well and build off of that and have an even better year next year. And thank you for all you do there. As the traditional school year ends, summer school is underway. Today and tomorrow, our teachers will be spending time with professional development, preparing for the students to arrive on Monday. So Gracie and her team have been at this. B and her team have been at it, and the month-long PD will be full day, and there will be incredible both academic and enrichment activities interacting with each other that will provide our students a really rich summer school experience. So thank you for all that you're doing for that. And that is my report. Thank you, Mr. Glars.
Thank you, sir. Moving into action item 7.1. Informational item 7.1, public hearing. Okay. At this, I open this public hearing at 7:51 p.m. Oh, yes. Before I open the public hearing, I take this back. We'll hear from Mayela.
While they put up the presentation, I'm going to have Gracie. She doesn't have a presentation for LCAP since we just she presented last time. She's just going to review it before we go into the presentation.
For LCAP?
Yes.
We have a lot of public comments, so
Okay, we can do that. So as soon as they put up the,
Yeah.
Okay. So good evening, President Galarza, Vice President, Mr. Gonzalez, board members, Ms. Vargas, Mr. Acuña, Ms. Paz, Mr. Arredondo, cabinet and staff that are here and that are watching, and our community. Thank you for being here. We're presenting the 23-24 proposed budget for this year. And while it goes up, we're gonna talk a little bit about what the changes that happened with May Revise, the proposed budget, what it looks like in the 3 years, our combined general fund, our board designations, and our all other funds, which includes our developer fees, our redevelopment funds, everything outside of the general fund. And then we can have questions throughout, or we can wait till the end. So from the January to the May revision, there was a few changes. The governor actually is keeping education. He's continuing to fund the COLA. It increased from 8.13 to 8.22. There was a decrease. So the way he funded it was to decrease our one time. So part of the decrease was the arts, music, and instructional material discretionary block grant, which was decreased by about 50%, and the learning recovery emergency block grant reduction. So for us, what that meant is we were expecting about $32 million, and about a third of it, we're going to be losing $10 million that we won't be able to plan for. Again, it's just one time. For the arts, music, and instructional material, it was about $9 million. Now we are expected to only keep $4.5 million. Well, we get it up. They're putting the LCAP. It's in the information section. So the part of the May Revise, the governor continues to be optimistic, even though there's economic uncertainty. So the reasons that the state is saying, okay, are we getting the funding that we should be receiving so that we can fund all expenses for the state? What we don't know is how much in state taxes we would be receiving because of that deferral that's moving it to October. So keep in mind, a lot of our funds come that way. He continues to be optimistic, but we're trying to sort of plan to see what if we don't get it, right? In the 2023, so 23-24, he's funding our COLA, the 8.22, with one-time funding, which means our COLA is ongoing. That's revenue that we are increased every year based on our ADA. If it's one time that he's funding it for this year from those dollars, that means that in the 24-25 year, he will have to fund that ongoing cost before he gives us an increase to the COLA. So we need to keep that in mind. It's kind of like the state deficit funding where they're using their one-time dollars to fund our COLA, and then next year they're going to have to catch up. So we'll see that as the year progresses with our budget in July, our adopted budget, once the adopted actually becomes adopted, and then we'll see what kind of revisions we're going to have to do throughout the year. We don't know if we would be getting deferrals or if would he actually reduce our COLA. So one of the things that we also need to consider is our 8.22% COLA to our base dollars that we receive funding for each student, not our total revenue. If that decreases for us, that's over $7 million. So what I try to look at is, okay, if right now we have 8.22 that we're planning for in the 23-24 year, this upcoming year, if he was to cut it, and let's say he gives us only, he says, okay, you're gonna get 5%. We're gonna reduce it, however he does it. A 3% reduction is $7 million. That is every single year. So if he does 1.5, it would be 3.5 every year. So we just need to consider that depending on, hopefully he'll keep the COLA as he has, and our funding will continue ongoing. If not, we need to consider what that percentage would mean this upcoming year and the ongoing years. Once we have it up in our multi-year projections, you will see that, well, we'll begin with our assumptions. Our assumptions, we continue to see an enrollment decline. We continue to watch our ADA. Right now, we are still in that hold harmless period where we are averaging out the years in the 3 years for attendance, which means that we are getting funded at a higher ADA than this year. Remember how before we would get funded on higher of ADA of this year or last year? Right now, we're getting that sort of that exemption for the 3 years. So it's averaging out. So we're being funded on a higher ADA than our actual current ADA. We're also looking at our ESSER fund, the one time that we're spending. So part of our deficit spending in every year is that one-time dollars that we're spending for ESSER. So all the projects that we're doing, keep in mind, we actually have the HVAC project at Desert Mirage at the K-12. It's over a $9 million project that we're using ESSER funds. So that's been in the works for a while. So that's going to happen next summer. So we know that those $9 million will continue to carry over until we have that project done. The other thing is we also consider our STRS and our PERS. Our CalSTRS is actually consistent at 19.10. And our PERS has been increasing every year. So that's part of our fixed costs with all of our payroll, our payments. Okay. So we can go back to a couple. Okay, so this is our multi-year. These are the assumptions that we use. If our ADA changes, then our projections for our revenue will also change. Our increase in our COLA from 8.13 to 8.22 is on a per student. So the increase that we receive per student increases for the following year by that COLA increase. If we're seeing an enrollment decline, then we would still see the increase on that per student, but now we have less students that are attending, so then it's less revenue. So that's why you won't see a straight across revenue increase by the amount of the COLA. It's actually to the amount that we multiply by the attendance numbers. What you also find here is our lottery that we set aside for instructional supplies and the workers' comp and our unemployment, which are continue to be the fixed costs for each of our payroll, our employment compensation cost. Now, our proposed budget for the 3 years is, this includes the 8.22 in the 23-24. It includes what the governor revised, for May revised, used as the COLA, that's our total revenue. Keep in mind, these are general fund dollars that are combined between unrestricted and restricted. So this includes our ESSER funding. It includes our LCAP dollars. It includes all of the funding. So right now, what we want to change, what we also, the total undesignated amount, which is the ending fund balance, we want to change that name to reflect on what are the board designations? Are we going to designate those funds? Do we have projects planned? Is that once we close a year, are those amounts in a project? For example, the ESSER, we should be seeing the ESSER funds there in that amount. So we can break them out from that 20 million to say part of it is the $9 million that we have for HVAC units for the next summer. So we will detail it out for unaudited actual. So you'll see those details next time. You'll see that we are also deficit spending. As I mentioned, as long as we have those one-time dollars that we have to use now, we're going to use more, we're going to have more expenses in our revenue. But the revenue here includes our current May revision, our COLA that we are, the 8.22 doesn't include any anything less. Let me see what else I wanted to make sure to mention. So this is where, if we get any reduction, whatever the amount of the COLA is, if you notice in the 25-26 year, the $11 million, whatever the amount of the COLA decreases our revenue, that gets taken out every single year. So whatever it is, $3 million, $7 million would go away every single year just simply by the revenue projections, keeping everything the same. So if our attendance increases, what we're using to calculate our revenue would increase slightly on that percentage. Now, our board designations or reserves, this is where we will be detailing out what we have at the end of the year. We have shown this, but I don't think we had shown the special reserve fund, Fund 17, which is another fund where we would set aside projects that we are working on that are general fund dollars that are designated to something. So if we, for example, the HVAC units that we're using for MESSER funding, should we have designated general fund dollars for that? This is where we would put them in a different fund so that they don't show up in the general fund and give us the impression that the funds are available. You would always see it. It would be part of what we've designated. It would just be in a different fund. You also see the 3%. If our expenses increase every year, our 3% also increases. We have revolving cash money that sits in the bank for our revolving accounts, which are the local checks that we issue on an emergency basis, and our inventory. So it's both the $50,000 in revolving and our stores reserves. Okay, here are the other funds. I realized as I was reading this that the building bond was misspelled. So these are different funds, Fund 11 for adult education. So these are outside our general fund. We report these on each of our financials. These are funds that are set aside for that specific use. So nutrition services receives funding from the state to serve students on a participation basis. So those are not general fund dollars, they're Fund 13. Here is also where it says special reserve. It's missing the word redevelopment. These are special projects, facilities projects that we would be funding. There are very few. I think David just is planning one. This is where we would plan on major projects, these dollars. We received this fund specifically is to pay our COP payments and then to plan for projects. We haven't planned any projects. Our self-insurance fund is also here. This is where we pay our vision and our dental that we're self-insured. And that's it. Any questions? I can go back.
Questions? No questions from our board members? Yeah. So given no questions,
One question.
go ahead, sir.
Only because I heard you mention it. You said the HVAC unit, the $9 million. Isn't that ongoing now?
Yes, it's in a planning phase, but it hasn't been spent. So until they install them, then we would be paying them.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. I open this public hearing at 8:06. We have Carissa. Correct?
Good evening, Carissa Carrera with Coachella Valley Teachers Association, and I'm not sure how this process works. I usually speak in public comments, so am I limited to 3 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, and do I get to ask questions that will be answered, or I'm just making
You're
statements?
just making statements.
Okay. So my questions that I know will not get answered tonight are on the document that you have attached to your report. Specifically the proposed budget general fund summary. And I understand that you were saying that because attendance is going down and that's what the COLA is based on, that's why the percent change in the proposed budget will not match. However, your attendance proposal of how you anticipate it going down is a 1.2% reduction, but you're only showing a 3.5.1% increase in your LCFF funding. So that does not correlate at all. I understand it's not going to be a direct correlation, but you're missing about $20 million on your LCFF proposed budget. So I'd like to have an explanation at some point about why you are severely under proposing what that LCFF funding should be. It concerns me because we expect the school board to make educationally sound decisions, but when they are not provided with accurate budgeting, that makes it almost impossible to do. Our district is consistently increasing their reserves when they should be spending it on the students. This year's money should be spent on this year's students. Since we always are saving more than we should because we get the unaudited actuals back later, and we find out that we ended up saving millions of dollars and it's gone into the reserves. And then at some point we start spending those reserves, we are always deficit spending, but the intention of using that phrase always seems to be that we don't have enough money. And I don't know if you guys look at the estimated actuals of the 2022-2023, 416 billion and a half, $416.5 million in total revenues is unheard of in this district. We have never had that much money before. And not that long ago, we were in the 200 millions. So this whole thing about we are deficit spending constantly when we have more money than we've ever had before, I think that we need to really spend some time looking at what we are spending our money on. I know that I sit on the budget committee and the LCAP committee, and we never really get a full picture in either committee about what we are spending the money on. I do know in this district, we have a habit of adopting programs and then throwing them out and adopting a different program the next year and spending money on training and then again spending money on training with the new programs. Let's see, I had something else in here. Okay, one other thing I just want to say real quickly then, since I'm out of time, is that please remember certificated salaries and classified salaries also includes admin. Thank you.
Moving on, there are no more public hearing comments. I close this public hearing at 8:10 p.m. Moving on to item 7.2, public hearing for local control, LCAP.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Valentino, and cabinet members and audience members. So tonight we present for public hearing the local control accountability plan. As you know, this is a 3-year plan. We are about to enter into year 3. So this plan covers from years 2021 through 2024. Draft number 1 was presented back on May 11th, which was the last board meeting. And at that time, I also engaged in a presentation where we highlighted what we were proposing, what was new. And so today, as Mayela mentioned earlier, I do not have a presentation for you. Rather, I'm just going to briefly talk about some of the changes that are included or noted within draft 2 that we are bringing forward to you today. Please note that draft number 2 is already posted on our website in both English and in Spanish, as well as the overview LCAP, which is a condensed version, a lot easier to read and follow. So some of the changes that are noted in draft number 2 is under the goal analysis section. In this section, there's been further evaluation of actions. There's also some changes made in the increased and improved services section where there was additional descriptive language added to really have a thorough understanding of the services being provided. And then metrics were also updated. Metrics are important so that we're able to, again, progress monitor our services and our actions. Another change is that draft number 2 already does include the salary increases, and that was not something that was included as part of draft number 1. So again, if we have any questions, I welcome them. Just as a reminder that the draft 2 is posted on our website and the final LCAP will be brought back to the June 22nd board meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. I open this public hearing at 8:12, I'm sorry. Starting with Brandon Oya.
Good evening, Superintendent Valentino and members of the board. My name is Brandon Ulloa, and I'm here as a part of the Community Justice Campaign with Alianza. I'm present today with parents and some awesome parents and some awesome students in the stance for the plan for the upcoming school year. Throughout the year, we saw significant glimmers that our district was heading in the correct direction with professional development sessions around restorative justice. What we would like to see next is the implementation plan for restorative justice with the lead at every school, and that doesn't include the combining PBIS and restorative justice. We would also like to see school climate committees come back so that parents, community members, and students have a manner of giving their input to the schools directly. Setting up the wellness centers was an awesome first step. Some students had the great opportunity of visiting the wellness centers, and we got mostly positive experiences. However, we should not stop at step one. We should continue moving forward and adding resources and spreading the exposure that these wellness centers have. That way we can make them open to the community members and the teachers themselves, so both students and teachers can get the help they need and require at all the schools. Our community deserves a plan that won't just consist of input from top level folks, but folks from all of our community. That way succeeding not just vocalizes the voices of our students and community, but actually elevates them and presents them in a way where they get their voices heard and they see that action being placed into our schools. Thank you.
Daniela Rojas. And after Daniela, we'll have Miliani, so you can be ready.
Good evening, members of the board and Superintendent Dr. Valentino. I am Daniela Rojas, here on behalf of our community justice partners with Alianza. Another school year comes to an end and we still aren't seeing the needs of school climate addressed. I am happy to hear there are professional development sessions for restorative justice to support transformational justice, but there is still a lot to do. To recap my comment from the last board meeting, we are asking to have more support in place for the implementation and practice of restorative justice. This spring, Alianza hosted training sessions for CVUSD students around conflict resolution, trauma-informed dialogue, circle keeping, and restorative justice. Our youth organizers also surveyed over 400 of their fellow classmates across West Shores, Coachella Valley, and Desert Mirage High School. When asked if they knew what a wellness center was, 77% answered yes. When asked if they knew where to find the wellness centers, 63% answered yes. And when asked if they knew how to access the wellness centers, 51% answered yes. If you've been following, then you'll notice that the percentages have gone down. When asked if they knew about resources offered in their school's wellness centers, only 44% answered yes. Throughout the school year, we heard how wellness centers were not accessible. This open door policy you claim to have was really by appointment only. Now on to the action. We have several ideas that we have shared, so I'm going to reshare them here again. We need a restart of the school climate committee. This time it should include parents, teachers, and community organizations. Creation of uniform discipline policies to address student maladaptive behaviors and treat them as students. Develop a plan of implementation for restorative justice. This will support our staff, parents, teachers, and everyone in our district. Restorative justice is practiced at all levels to create community and togetherness. Thank you.
Miliane Rodriguez, and after Laura Rio Frio.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Milena Rodriguez. I am currently enrolled into Coachella Valley High School. I just finished my freshman year and I am here with the Community Justice Campaign with Alianza. I want to start off by saying that although it is my first year in the Coachella Valley High School, there have been so many problems. But I'm going to focus on one, and that is the mental health resources such as the Wellness Center, that need easier access for our students. In our survey from earlier this year, only 29% of students in the Coachella Valley High School said they know how to access the Wellness Center. That means 795 students in the Coachella Valley High School know how to access it out of 3,000. And even those few people that know about it, there are still referral processes that take a long time and are sometimes too long of a wait for students to receive that help. And imagine the longer wait if even more students knew about it. These waiting lists can last days or even longer than a month. And talking about these wellness centers, there are counselors that are supposed to be the ones students reach out to, but they aren't always available to help because they are wrapped up in their own work and they don't even put their full attention onto the student.
This is why we need therapists and counselors in different areas. The counselors are mostly used for school stress, but depression and low self-esteem are different needs that students may need help with, but don't have anyone to reach out to because they aren't specialized in those situations. And yes, there is Latino Commission, but again, it has a wait list. These resources that we have available are just not enough for these students who are in need and are struggling. This just leads us to the questions, why can't they offer help to students outside referrals? Do they follow up with kids as often as they need? If we can only offer help to students that are sent to the counselors, what about the ones that need help in more serious situations like abuse and suicide, but can't get help early because of the wait? Do they actually reach help to all the students who need it, or just a few students they catch here and there? Who decides which students' needs are more important? Students that get straight A's and are involved in extracurricular activities still have mental health needs. Our students need to be supported early and not after a breakdown. This just shows that we need to increase the access and awareness of mental health resources. The main solution would be to have licensed therapists that will allow people to have more access to them at any given time, so no wait list. And not only that, but it will offer more access to more coping skills, conflict resolution, and mental health training. Thank you.
Thank you. Laura Rufrio, and afterwards Marisol Peña Rayón.
Buenas tardes, yo soy Laura Riofrío, ¿verdad? Yo vengo abogando sobre la violencia sobre los jóvenes, ¿verdad? Que el viernes en Mountain View hubo un atentado sobre una joven que arriba del autobús la agarraron de las greñas y a mí se me hizo tristeza, ¿verdad? Mirar de que ella se bajó y se cortó hasta su pelo para que ya no le jalaran ese pelo. Queremos que haya justicia, que haya consejeros en las escuelas que los apoyen a los jóvenes, porque a veces los jóvenes no sabemos qué traen, qué cargan en su cabeza, que en su casa a veces miran violencia y ellos se desquitan con los demás y es lo que nosotros queremos, ¿verdad? Que sean escuchados, porque a veces no sabemos si aquel joven golpea al otro, porque a veces en su casa se mira a la mamá que la golpea o X cosa y nosotros juzgamos a aquel niño, ¿verdad? Y queremos que haya consejeros, que haya, pues, que los ayuden, ¿verdad? Porque a veces habemos jóvenes que no sabemos lo que traemos en nuestros corazones. Y es todo.
Gracias. Marisol Peña Rayón y después Erika Ibarra.
Buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Marisol Peña. Solamente para comentarles también, ¿verdad? Que deben de estar pendientes o que haya también consejería, porque en los niños más chicos, ¿verdad? Los más grandes agreden a los chiquitos y les ponen miedo y ya no quieren ir a la escuela. Yo comenté con una mamá, su niña ya no quería ir a la escuela porque una niña mayor le pegaba, le regañaba, entonces le roban el autoestima a los más grandes, a los niños. Entonces, también, ¿verdad? Que estén al pendiente y que haya una consejería para esos niños que agreden a los demás niños, que les roban su autoestima. Y pues les afecta emocionalmente, que ya no quieren ir a la escuela o se aferran a seguir su escuelita. Entonces esa mamá va a trabajar, está al pendiente de qué pase con su hijo. Es todo lo que les puedo comentar.
Gracias. Erika Ibarra y Mariana Román después.
Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Erika Ibarra. Yo nomás vengo a pedir, por favor, a exigir, por favor, ayuda para la escuela, a la familia. No es justo que lleguen los estudiantes a su clase y no tengan dónde sentarse. Los niños tienen que sentarse en el piso o estar estudiando parados en la clase, durante clase. Por eso digo que es algo muy importante que haya más equipo, más sillas, que por favor se pueden ir a visitar la escuela y miren las necesidades que tienen. Gracias.
Gracias. Mariana Román y después Ana Rodríguez.
Buenas tardes, miembros de la mesa directiva, superintendente y presentes. Mi nombre es Mariana, soy madre de familia y formo parte del grupo de padres del Valle de Coachella en colaborativa con la campaña de justicia restaurativa. Y vengo aquí esta tarde a expresar mi sentir, ¿verdad? Justicia restaurativa es necesario y aquí la importancia de implementarla para que Coachella Valley tenga un clima escolar positivo, 100% eficaz, libre de expulsiones, suspensiones, pleitos, ausencias. Es indispensable poner a trabajar el plan de justicia restaurativa al 100. Desde mayo del 2018, que el Distrito Unificado del Valle de Coachella adoptó las prácticas de justicia restaurativa hasta la fecha, como padre de familia no he mirado esa implementación del todo. Hay muchas áreas a reforzar. Para que un plan tenga éxito en todas las áreas, es indispensable realizar las prácticas. Si queremos un distrito disciplinado, es importante comenzar por lo principal, construir comunidad con todos los que formamos parte del Distrito Unificado del Valle de Coachella. ¿Cómo queremos un distrito sin problemas si no estamos actuando efectivamente? Ya se nos fue un año escolar y los últimos meses fue de rebeldía con los estudiantes. Se abrieron espacios para que ellos expresaran sus preocupaciones y necesidades. Y así fue, pero realmente no se les dio el uso adecuado, ni mucho menos el apoyo a los estudiantes, ni a los líderes de esos espacios. Miembros de la mesa directiva, trabajen en unidad, fortaleciendo al máximo el rendimiento académico y el estado socioemocional de los estudiantes. Su salud emocional fue afectada por la pandemia. Ahora más que nunca brindemos ese apoyo al 200%. Mesa directiva, utilicen de una manera equitativa el dinero de la educación de nuestros hijos. Sugiero como padre de familia se actualice frecuentemente el plan modelo mezclado de la justicia restaurativa. Por igual que se comience el año escolar 22-23 brindando capacitación sobre justicia restaurativa a los maestros, líderes de los centros de bienestar, padres, administradores, consejeros, personal de oficina y lo más importante, abrir esa capacitación para todos los estudiantes y durante el año escolar se brinde más capacitación de justicia restaurativa para todos por igual. Sugiero se cree un espacio para nosotros los padres a los comités de desarrollo del plan. Al igual es necesario más consejeros socioemocionales en las escuelas de nuestros hijos. Sugiero que en los foros del ELCAP se nos dé el tiempo debido a entender y poder realizar las preguntas necesarias. Y lo más importante, durante el año escolar se nos brinde talleres a padres y estudiantes a comprender más a detalle, ya que es un plan muy extenso, más de 300 hojas, y es necesario comprender cada meta a detalle. Gracias.
Muchas gracias. Ana Rodríguez y después Guadalupe López Cirlos.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Ana Rodríguez, soy padre de familia, tengo 4 inscritos en el distrito. Llevo mucho tiempo siendo voluntaria y enrolándome en todos los comités de la escuela y he visto últimamente que desde que mencionaron lo de justicia restaurativa y todo eso, ustedes dijeron que iban a implementar. Yo sé que es de paso a paso y poco a poco, ¿verdad? Pero conforme a lo que el tiempo que llevo, pues he mirado muy poco y me gustaría como padre de familia que aportaran más y que los fondos y todo eso que lo lleven a programas que sí funcionen para todos los estudiantes y ayudar más a los que necesitan más ayuda. Y les agradezco porque de poco a poco pues van a llevar de la mano, pero necesitamos más de ustedes y que nos apoyen también a nosotros, a los padres, para también capacitaciones, porque a veces muchos de nosotros no sabemos de lo que se trata o muchas veces no sabemos las respuestas. Y sobre todo también que hayan más programas educativos para los estudiantes que de verdad los nutran para que sean mejores estudiantes en el futuro. Muchas gracias.
Gracias a Guadalupe López Cirlos y después Sandra Ramírez.
Sí, buenas noches. Mi nombre es Guadalupe López y me dirijo muy respetuosamente a ustedes. Como madre de 2 niños que estudian en este distrito, me preocupa como madre de familia los fondos que se asignan para nosotros los padres.
Perdón, estoy un poco nerviosa. Me preocupa como madre de familia de mis dos niños que los fondos que se asignan del ELCAP para los padres sean considerados realmente para esto. A que considero que el involucramiento de padres es importante para el desarrollo del estudiante. Mientras los padres se involucren más en la vida de los niños, les va a beneficiar, ¿verdad? Como madre de familia, he estado involucrada también en los distintos comités como ILAC, como el concilio escolar en la escuela de mis niños, y veo la necesidad que hay en que los padres se involucren. Y es el 2%, ¿verdad? Solamente de todo este dinero que se utiliza para nosotros los padres. Y sí necesitamos de su apoyo, ¿verdad? Para que esos fondos sean realmente utilizados para este fin. Ya que hay mucha necesidad de aprendizaje, como dicen mis compañeras, de aprender también nosotros como padres cómo dirigir a nuestros hijos, ¿verdad? Porque la educación también comienza en casa, ¿verdad? No hay que dejarle todo a los maestros o a los que están a cargo en la escuela de nuestros hijos. Y también como padres, pues necesitamos mucha educación, ¿verdad? Entonces, que ese dinero realmente sea distribuido para nosotros como padres. Hay diferentes cosas en las que se pueden utilizar como IRACABE o como algo que nos pueda desarrollar, ¿verdad? Y tengamos metas como papás y poder ayudar a nuestros hijos. También considero que la justicia restaurativa implementada en una forma que se pueda realmente como es el formato de justicia restaurativa, sería muy bueno para implementarlo en las escuelas, ya que como están comentando todas mis compañeras, hay problemas, ¿verdad? Hay pleitos, hay diferentes cuestiones en las aulas y considero que haciéndolo y poniendo de nuestra parte, tanto ustedes como los padres, como todos los que trabajan en el distrito, podemos lograr que nuestros hijos tengan un mejor futuro. Ahí a menos se reduzcan los pleitos en las escuelas y cualquier otra situación negativa y podamos salir de esto y nuestros hijos tengan éxito y puedan ir a una universidad y algún día estar sentados así como ustedes representándonos, ¿verdad? Gracias.
Muchas gracias. Sandra Ramírez y después Sonia Rodríguez.
Buenas tardes, superintendente, miembros de la mesa directiva. Me da gusto ver, ¿verdad?, que ya terminamos un año escolar y vamos a comenzar otro, primeramente Dios. Lo que me da tristeza es ver cómo ya se terminó el año escolar y la justicia restaurativa brilló por su ausencia. Aunque hay papeles que dicen que sí fue parte del plan educativo de nuestros hijos, los hechos hablan por sí solos. El hecho de que hayamos tenido demasiados pleitos, muchos niños ausentes, eso da a entender que todavía hay un hueco que tenemos que llenar con los terapeutas, ya sea consejeros, personas preparadas que ayuden a orientar a nuestros hijos a manejar esas emociones que son parte de la vida, queramos o no. Todas las personas tenemos emociones, pero ¿cómo vamos a ayudarles a encaminarlas y a usar efectivamente ese tipo de emociones? Yo quisiera hacer hincapié y hacer énfasis, ¿verdad?, de que es necesario que la justicia restaurativa se implemente como es. Sabemos que muchas personas están diciendo que no, pero yo creo que no podemos negarnos a algo que ha tenido éxito en otros lugares. Entonces, ¿qué nos hace a nosotros ser menos valiosos que esos lugares donde intencionalmente el distrito los ha puesto a trabajar en la justicia restaurativa? Yo siempre quiero resaltar que no por el hecho de que nosotros hablemos español, estemos en un área rural, seamos de bajos ingresos, eso no nos hace menos merecedores que las demás personas que están en otros distritos. Nuestros hijos son tan valiosos como todos los demás y se merecen todas las oportunidades que necesiten. Es por eso que yo voy a seguir alzando la voz hasta que nosotros seamos escuchados, porque no solo somos yo, hay más papás que por necesidades de que estén trabajando, no tienen quien les cuide a los niños, no pueden llegar aquí por el carro. Hay muchas razones por qué un papá no está aquí. No es porque quiera portarse indiferente ante la necesidad de sus hijos. Es porque simplemente no hay una manera que todos los recursos se apropien para que la persona pueda estar aquí. Entonces yo quiero seguir empujando para que la justicia restaurativa se aplique. Y yo siempre he dicho que pues podemos ganar más cosas hablando que en vez de peleándonos, ¿verdad? Entonces, ese es el ejemplo que le tenemos que dar a nuestros estudiantes, que son el futuro de no solamente de esta comunidad, es de todo el país. Entonces, tenemos que hacer las cosas intencionales de que los niños identificar por qué no quieren ir a la escuela, por qué no están terminando las clases, por qué no salen con su A3G requerido para ir a la universidad, por qué siguen peleándose, por qué hay esa falta de desconexión del maestro con el estudiante. Hay muchísimos beneficios y la justicia restaurativa se implementa como tal. Gracias.
Sonia Rodríguez.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Sonia Rodríguez, madre de hijos en la comunidad de Meca y miembro de CB Parents Alianza apoyando la justicia restaurativa. Como alguna de mis compañeras mencionó, yo pido apoyo para que nosotros como padres nos ayuden a entender más lo que es el CAP, porque no solamente estamos interesados en la educación, sino en entender más a dónde se va ese dinero y cómo podemos apoyarnos. Una de las cosas que pido es que hablamos de nuestros niños, de que hay que defenderlos y que hay que respetarlos. Yo pienso que estamos en lo correcto. Y también yo pienso que ustedes, maestros y padres, merecemos respeto mutuo para que trabajemos en armonía. Una de las cosas que yo estuve mirando cuando trabajamos en equipo es que algunos fondos se van a ir para una posición que es bus monitor. Y una de las cosas que yo me pregunto, ¿quién monitorea a los drivers? Hay niños olvidados, hay niños que los dejan sin transportación y aparte de que llegan tarde, reciben represalias. También los niños deben respetar a los choferes y los choferes deben respetar a los niños y a los padres de familia. A veces ellos afectan al público, también a los ciudadanos que respetan el stop sign y el público merece el derecho de paso porque algunos después de que se suben o se bajan los niños del camión, arrancan primero antes de mover el signo de paso. Por lo tanto, obligando a la persona que está haciendo el alto, si hizo 5 minutos, en vez de bajar el alto primero, se sube el camión y no le da el paso. Eso es en referencia a un presupuesto que se va a ir a la posición de bus monitor. Otra de las posiciones, cambiando de tema, de posiciones, English Learners, TOSA. Las personas de TOSA deben de hacer su trabajo, que es ayudar a los niños que reclasificarán. No que hagan otros trabajos. Por ejemplo, algunas escuelas, los TOSAs no sabían qué posición tenían, los contrataron, pero su descripción de trabajo era otra. Cuidaban niños afuera y ayudaban en cafeterías, pero no hacían lo que deben hacer. Lo anterior se pudiera prevenir si se pone en práctica los círculos de la justicia restaurativa, donde los estudiantes pudieran expresar sus necesidades. Gracias.
Thank you. Seeing no other comments, I close public hearing at 8:35. Moving on, I'd like to make a motion to move item 8.1 to the end of the agenda.
I'll second.
For
For the public hearing.
that was before before the hearing? That was before the hearing? Okay. Go ahead.
Now my thoughts are all over the place, but I can start and maybe I'll get it back together. I did meet with the team, Mayela, Lorelei, to discuss the LCAP that was proposed to us and better understand the thinking, right? Because I do see that we are spending a lot of dollars in positions. And I understand that, if we have programs, we need to have the people that run the programs and do them. But I also know that some of these positions at least haven't been so clearly tied to me. So how much is it so that we can implement, right, the restorative
practices, the wellness centers, like making those ties. And one of the takeaways from me, from that meeting is that there are positions here that were put into the original LCAP way before I was on this board, before some of my colleagues were here on the board, that are still there. So we still haven't done back to assess, okay, are these the positions? Are these the programs? Is this the match? Is this working? Why are they still here? My understanding, and again, this is just history that I don't have, but my understanding was that at that time, it was a way to not let go a lot of people. And so they found the LCAP dollars as the ability, right? It gave the district the ability to not let go the people, but we are, I mean, years after the first LCAP, and I think we need to do a better job at matching those positions that we're choosing to fund from the LCAP to the programs that we've prioritized that can be matched from the LCAP. So that's one. The question around one of the positions that they're proposing would be to support, I believe, from the district level, right, the implementation of the restorative practices. And I agree with that, but we don't have like the ground support. So we're almost sort of setting this person to fail and struggle because we don't have the designated support at the sites that this person can then work with to do the implementation. So again, we're going to assign one person for the entire district that's going to have to be running around, and that we're going to be holding it responsible for whether, you know, our blended model is implemented or not. I don't think we're setting that person to succeed. I did ask about brainstorming for different ways in which this could be done. And I know, I mean, they were going to go and look back, but thinking about whether going back to when we approved the wellness centers and those positions, my understanding, and maybe I should have clarified then, but my understanding was that the wellness center, I don't remember the titles, but the persons in the wellness centers, they were going to be instrumental in supporting the sites, because wellness centers was not separate from our blended model approach, right? It was an integration. So I don't know whether, based on all the information and all the activities that happen in the wellness centers, that ever connected, that the implementation was right. I mean, I'm not saying that they're not doing a lot, they are, and it's been presented to us, but I think it's that alignment that I just don't see. And I wanted to see it better reflected in how we're using resources in the LCAP. So those are a few of the things that I remember having a conversation with the team, and that I look forward that we can get it right before we approve it June 22nd. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
I think in me understanding the LCAP and how we've been doing this every year, there's always things that we feel that are ongoing projects, but there's different pots of money, right? So for me, it's I know that we're doing a lot. I know that, but when we get the LCAP document, it sort of looks like we're missing stuff, but it's because, and I could be wrong, but it's because some of it is coming from different pots of money, right? Where the LCAP, it's not stated in the LCAP. Am I correct in saying that, Mayela, or am I wrong? I just want to.
No, yes. So the LCAP is built by supplemental concentration dollars and Title IV, anything that supports our EL services, our migrant programs, anything that we consider supplemental and concentration. So above and beyond the core program, we've tried to capture it in the LCAP. So yes, you're right. It's other fundings also. It's not just supplemental and concentration.
It's just, for example, our mental health dollars aren't here, but I know that we're investing significantly in mental health. But if somebody was to look at the LCAP, it's not all here. So, right. And I get the questions and sort of trying to understand the LCAP in my 3 years here as a board member. I'm still trying to understand where we put everything in, and sometimes why it's there and not somewhere else. But definitely, I think hopefully we can get it. And I know it's tough. It's a lot of work to do this. Thank you for staff for putting this work together. It's not easy. It doesn't happen overnight. But hopefully, in my opinion, and this is me, is that this is done with a restorative practice lens to say, hey, this is kind of what the board is looking at, and is that here? Is there equity and justice here in this LCAP? And that's where we rely on staff to sort of do that for us, as you guys hear the different things that we are. So I just want to say that I think the wellness centers have done really well. It's a good concept. But what I want to see is, and this is me, really quick, and then I'll stop. But if there is a teacher or staff in the wellness center that does not fit to the student needs, that we can pivot and we can provide the correct staff in the wellness center. Because I think a lot of times we say, oh, well, we got a teacher, we got a mental health therapist, we got a substance abuse, oh, we got it. But I think what we're hearing is it really offering the services that we need, right, in terms of student support? And maybe it is, but I'm hoping that there's somebody that could at least analyze that and see if we're doing it correctly. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Acuna? Yeah, I had some of the same thoughts as board member Paz on some of this stuff. I think the thing that I keep hearing again and again is what we've been advocating, obviously, and I support a lot of the statements that were made today. If we had enough money, we've all been supportive to push the wellness centers into the elementary schools as the next step, to augment the secondary programs with more resources, figure out a way to better inform the students. I mean, that's been a struggle. We tell them every way we think we can, and they still sometimes don't. How do we get more parents? We get some parents, but we don't get all the parents. What ideas do we have to bring more of them in? And again, I think it's we have to balance it. And again, the LCAP is a plan and the LCFF is a funding model, so that we have to understand that point. But again, I think, in fairness to the wellness centers this year, this is the first year that I believe we had them generally fully staffed. And I'm hoping what's going to happen, and the people that are in charge, I have the faith that they're going to go back and say, this worked, this didn't work, and then come back and tweak the program or tweak the needs or how we need it. And again, one of the things that I and others have been supportive of is something that's also happening later on tonight. We're going to be increasing some of the staff that's going to be at the sites, to make it more proportional representation of, if a school has 300 students, they have certain needs, but if a school has 1,000 students, it's not just one-on-one. It's based on the need and the enrollment of the students, because I think it's only fair, right? If we have more students and how to access that. I mean, I think we're in the right. Again, it's like a lot of our programs. I think they're sound programs. We just need to do better. We need to implement it. We need to tighten it up. We need to do more of the changes. The wellness centers is a great example, but there's a lot of examples out there for different things. And again, I would love nothing more than to be able to push more monies in that way. But again, I agree with Board Member Paz that we have to be specific on how that's being used and what staff we're using to do what. I know we're going to get some changes with our student support services that hopefully is going to help that and give us a good plan to show how we're going to implement that stuff. But we have facilities needs, we have materials needs, we have staffing needs, we have a lot of needs. But if we can't get our kids in our community kind of there, a lot of that doesn't. It's like that old saying: if the kid's not eating breakfast in the morning, I don't care how good a teacher you are, that's not going to work. That kid needs to eat. And the same thing with mental health and restorative justice and these practices that we need. They need that as well. That is part of their education. It's not just math and English and that. This has now become, unfortunately, in general society, this has been a part of our education. I think something else that we need to do, and I know we did this, we talked about this the other day at our 2x2 with the city of Coachella. We need to work with our cities and our counties and some of our other jurisdictions. I think the district's willing to open up kind of our doors, but it's their community too. And again, while I, as a board member, and I know my colleagues are more than supportive of doing this, this is not just a school issue. These issues are community issues, and we need help from everyone. We need help from, you know, the water district, the IID, the rec district, the county, you know, all the other governmental agencies, all the nonprofits, and even some of the businesses. These are their employees as well. So we need a broader overview of that. But again, I would love nothing more than to put more resources in, but I agree with Board Member Boss. We have to be very direct as how we're doing this. And again, you know, we need to provide the services that we need and not just have positions because there's someone there. And, you know, I don't like getting rid of anyone, but we are not a jobs program. We are a service program, and our program is for our kids. So the services that we need to provide are the ones that are geared to our kids. And again, going back to how we spend money, I'll reiterate it again. I know I get a lot of crap for it, but this is why I refuse to spend $1 million for sheriff's department to come in here and sit around and arrest our kids. When that money, we should be spending it how we're spending it into these programs, continuing moving forward and trying to do that. It ain't perfect. I think we've come a long way with all your support as well over the years. But going back to the point, we just need to get better at it and figure out where we're not doing it right and change. Don't be afraid to say, okay, that didn't work. Let's do it differently. So that's kind of.
Thank you, sir.
Just one other question. I did notice that some of the positions include TOSAs. And we had in the past, I don't remember how long ago, a robust conversation in TOSAs, and we made a decision at the time. And to me, having positions like that here, it's kind of doesn't give me the opportunity to vote on whether I want more TOSAs or not, because it's embedded in the LCAP, right? So I'm either adopting the LCAP or I'm not adopting the LCAP. So I just had a question about that, because I don't know that my mind has changed from when we had that conversation about how effectively we've been utilizing the TOSAs. So I just wanted to make that as a comment too, because I know there are TOSAs embedded in this plan.
Thank you. Seeing none, we're gonna move on. I'd like to make a motion to move 8.1 to the bottom of the agenda after consent calendar.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Action item 9.1, approval for CVUSD trustees Adonis Galarza and Trinidad Arredondo to attend the Hispanic Association of College Universities International Symposium in Guadalajara, Mexico.
I just have I'll second the motion, but I have a comment. The next two items, is there a reason that we're handling remuneration and these types of events under action items? Couldn't this be put in the consent calendar? And if a board member decides that it's important enough to discuss these matters, to bring it forward? Is there a reason we do this?
I think because
I'm just, maybe it's a legal question, but I'll call the question.
okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries 6-0. Mr. Arredondo stepped out. Action item 9.2, adopt board resolution for number 23.
I motion.
Is there a second? Second by Mr. Arredondo, motion by Mr. Gonzalez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain?
9.2.
9.2. Okay, motion carries 5-0 with one abstention. Again, Mr. Arredondo stepped out. Action item 10.1, requesting approval to open a purchase order with BSN Sports for 50,000 to purchase athletic equipment.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Cunha, second by Mr. Gonzalez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 6-0. Action item 10.2, requesting approval of expansion of contract agreement for the 2023-24 fiscal year with Riverside County Latino Commission.
Motion?
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez,
Second.
second by Mr. Acuna. All those in favor?
Question.
Yes.
Oh, comment. I think I saw on the agreement. I think it was somewhere in the agreement, where it stated something about either hiring or, getting a crisis, counseling crisis
Expanding?
counseling. Yeah, something like that. I think my comment is really, if there's positions, within the district, I want to make sure that we're not
Double make.
contracting additional services that we already hire people to do.
So again, I'm just gonna ask for clarification. The position that you're speaking about on the extension or expansion of the contract is?
Yes, there was a, I'm
Mentioned it
sorry.
right now, I just didn't catch it. Was it crisis?
Sorry, yes, it says, has the contract agreement submitted being expanded and there's a crisis counselor new, and from my understanding, and please do correct me, do we have staff that do this position within our district?
No, we currently do not have a staff member who handles crisis under a job district, under a job description. The one noted in the expansion is one who could assist at the times. Currently, we're sending out our therapists that we have in our district offices that support us with therapy to students that are independent studies or students found on home visits. That therapist is assisting at sites when therapists are not on, because it's after the school day or early before that there is a crisis. Previously, we have had a crisis therapist here with us who tends to all the sites, for example, for those 5150 assessments or any other crisis pieces. So it's almost like a wraparound additional person who will assist in any assessments for crisis.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries 6-0. Again, Mr. Arredondo stepped out. Action item 10.3, requesting approval of preschool subaward agreement with California Department of Education. There's a motion by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Acuna. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 6-0. Action item 10.4, requesting agreement of approval of agreement with Camp of Champions, A&M, for drone technology camps. Motion by Mr. Gonzalez,
Second.
second by Mr. Acuna. Questions, comments, concerns?
The fiscal impact, if we could just know what is funding allocation, so we just know ESSER 3, but not the specific amount, so they could just note it for future.
Do we have the specific amount for this fiscal impact
I'd say for the future.
for the future? Perfect. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries 6-0. Action item 10.5, requesting approval of MOU with Riverside County Superintendents of Schools for Read With Me program. Motion by Mr. Gonzalez.
Aye.
Second by Mr. Acuna.
Yeah, but I had some changes. I think some of you saw some of my comments about this, and I didn't know if we changed them or not, or if I was to make amendments to change it to them. I believe they're generally important amendments that we should have to protect us as well as them. Again, the program is, been working in line, but
What are the amendments?
trying to go back and find them.
So- But it was already when the agenda was already posted, so they have to be done here.
But also some of your amendments required
So,
feedback from the attorney.
yeah, those are mine. So did
we get feedback from the attorney? No.
No, it was what they sent us, so we had to change it to send it back to them.
But we should
And
table.
and
this.
I think so I would ask if most of you saw the comments, right? Do you generally agree with them? And if you do, I would ask the table and send that back to the county and say if that's okay with them. There's
Change your motion.
only like 3 or
Gonzalez?
4, but
Are you second the table?
yes, so
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries 6-0. Action item 10.5 is tabled. Action item 11.1, authorization to install access control to the reception area of the district office. Motion by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Acuna. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 6-0. Welcome back, Mr. Redondo. Action item 11.22, authorization to award contract bid number 163-2023 North Shore Elementary School project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Redondo, second by Mr. Acuna. Any questions, comments, concerns?
I think we have a question by Mr. Malcolm.
Do you have a question or are you just ready to answer questions?
Sorry, I think Mr. Buckham, thank you. And then I think you were gonna bring the contractor forward.
Yes, thank you. Good
Okay.
evening. I just wanted to let the board know how thankful the facilities team and business services is for their support and guidance working through this project. It's been years in the making, way before my arrival, and we're very excited and proud to bring this bid before the board. And I did want to let the board know that two members from Pro West Constructors are here joining us tonight. Michael DeMarie and Jeff Rising with Pro West. So they're excited to get started. And again, I wanted to thank you for your patience and any questions, I'm available.
Thank you. Seeing no questions.
Yeah, I want to thank the contractors for waiting patiently, and it's been a long meeting. And we look forward to bringing in the project under schedule and under budget. Thanks, guys.
Godspeed. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 7-0. Action item 11.3, authorization to award contract bid 162-2023 Palmview Elementary School Permanent Campus and Playfield Project.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Redondo. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 7-0. Action item 11.4, authorization to increase contract C0003-001 with DLR Group Architects for added services to the North Shore Elementary School project.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Redondo,
Second.
second by Ms. Garcia. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Action item 11.5, authorization to proceed with La Familia High School Site Improvements Project.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Redondo,
Second.
second by Ms. Garcia. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 7-0. Election, action item 11.6, authorization to proceed with Coachella Valley High School weight room glazing replacement project.
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Arredondo. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 7-0. Action item 11.7, requesting for allowance of attendance due to emergency conditions.
So move.
Motion by Mr. Redondo, second by Mr. Gonzalez. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 7-0. Action item 12.1, approval of board resolution number 2023, proposed salary schedule increase for confidential management employees.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Acuna. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 7-0. Action item 12.2, approval of the declaration of need for qualified educators for the 2023-2024 school year.
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Arredondo. Any questions, comments, concerns?
Aye. Sorry.
Oh, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain, motion carries 7-0. Action item 12.3, memorandum of understanding between CVSD and CVTA regarding the pay structure for Head Start. Motion by Mr. Gonzalez,
Second.
second by Ms. Garcia. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain, motion carries 7-0. Action item 12.4, approval of first reading for K through 12 Independent Study Program Board Policy. If it's a first reading, we don't need to approve, right? Okay. So this is the first reading. Moving on to consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered by the board to be routine and will be acted upon in one motion. There will be no discussion of these items prior to the time the board considers a motion unless members of the board or staff request specific items to be discussed and or removed from the consent calendar, in which event the items will be considered separately. The superintendent, assistant superintendent of educational services, assistant superintendent of business and finance, and assistant superintendent of HR recommend the approval of all consent calendars. Is there a motion to approve a consent calendar?
Motion respecting any member wanting to separate or speak about any item separately.
Is that
It's a motion.
Second.
there's a motion by Mr. Gonzalez. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. We're gonna go back to 12.4. I'm being told to approve just for the purpose of process. Approval of action item 12.4, approval of first reading for K through 12 Independent Study Program Board Policy. Just this is, we're approving the first reading. We're not approving the
I'll
policy.
second.
Motion by Mr. Arredondo, second by Mr. Gonzalez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. And just to clarify for the record, again, we're approving the first reading, not the policy itself. Thank you. From now on, I will be handing over the gavel to Mr. Gonzalez as I need to step out. I hope you all have a great weekend.
Mr. Galarza, we're gonna go back to item 9.1. We have a CVUSD UPK plan update.
Good evening, Vice President Gonzalez, Dr. Valentino, and members of the board. I'm here today to present our Universal Pre-K, otherwise known as UPK update and next steps. I want to begin by providing everyone with a quick overview of the purpose of UPK. The title, California's Great Start, is what defines UPK. UPK provides 3- and 4-year-old children with access to high quality education through a mixed delivery system. The experience may be through preschool, Head Start, or from a private sector. By the year 25-26, all 4-year-old students will have access to a high quality education, regardless of their income, race, or zip code. Families will have access to before and after school care, making it easier for families to choose a program that best fits their needs. The mixed delivery system will ensure that all 4-year-old students will have a great start to their education prior to entering kindergarten. In order to provide students with a great start to early education, we must ensure that the following elements are implemented. School readiness includes ready children, ready schools, and ready community. Ready schools meet every child where they are and support all adults to engage every children in meaningful learning. Our youngest learners thrive more, but not all of their time is spent engaged in child-directed and educator-guided activities that can occur in centers or intentional strategies, rather than learning experience that are solely directed by an educator. Next, I will review CVUSD pathways to kindergarten. The first step is our Head Start and preschool program. We're very fortunate to have a long-standing Head Start and preschool program that provides services to over 400 students in our community. The second step is our TK program. In the school year 23-24, children born between September 2nd, 2018 and April 2nd, 2019 will be eligible to enroll in our TK program. Our next step is kindergarten. Students must be 5 by September 1st, 2023, and they will be eligible for our kinder program. We're very excited to expand our Head Start and preschool program in our district. In 21-22, our early education was available in 11 of our 14 elementary school sites. This last school year, we were able to expand into the CVU community by adding 1 additional Head Start into our district. In the school year 23-24, We look forward to providing early education to families in the North Shore and Mecca community by adding a preschool classroom at Saul Martinez. As we prepare for the full implementation of TK, we have been analyzing TK growth and trends among our departments. In 21-22, we had 200 students enrolled in our TK programs and were placed in combination classrooms that included TK and kinder students. In 22-23, we ended our school year with 290 TK students, which included 18 classrooms. 16 of those classrooms were, 12 of those classrooms were standalone TK classrooms, while 6 classrooms were TK kinder classes. In 23-24, we anticipate having 350 TK students district-wide. The majority of the classrooms will be standalone classrooms, while 4 classrooms will be TK kinder combos. The continuous increase in student enrollment has also led us to analyze our elementary school facility needs. TK classrooms will benefit from having a restroom in the classroom, but it is not a requirement by the state. In the 23-24 school year, 72% of our TK students will be in classrooms that contain a restroom, while 28% of our students will be in a classroom that do not have a restroom. We are exploring options to support our students to ensure that they have frequent access to restrooms in that 28% of those classrooms. As we continue with the gradual implementation of TK, we have made some facility adjustments at some of our school sites. In addition of 2 portable classrooms with restrooms will be at Valle del Sol in the next school year. In addition of UPK portable restrooms are currently being added to Peter Pendleton Elementary, in addition to a student dismissal area designated for kinder and TK. In addition, we have provided portable classrooms at Seaview Elementary to support the implementation of TK. Ready Schools equates to ready playgrounds. Many of our Head Start students share their playground space with TK and kindergarten students. We are very fortunate that this year we received a one-time funding to support playground upgrade. The shared playground space will allow our preschool, Head Start, TK, and in some cases, kinder students to benefit from the new equipment. We will have new playground structures and rubber surfaces installed at Peter Pendleton, Valley View, and West Side. We will also provide play structure repairs at Las Palmitas. We will also provide playground surface repairs at John Kelly and Oasis. We're excited to bring some playhouses and gas stations to Cesar Chavez, John Kelly, and Oasis, and also musical congas to John Kelly, Oasis, Las Palmitas, Valley View, and Peter Pendleton. Ready Schools also means engaging students in meaningful learning activities. I will not go through the whole list because it's quite a bit and I know it's getting late, but you can see that we have done a lot when it comes to the curriculum and instruction alignment. The most that has been impactful is really aligning our district calendars with our Head Start and preschool families. It has really made an impact in our families. Ready Schools also means preparing our staff with the instructional tools and strategies to meet the needs of the student. Preschool and Head Start teachers now, like our elementary and secondary teachers, are now benefiting from professional development twice a month and also engage in PLC process with TK teachers. Our teachers have been receiving training and really understanding the cognitive development of 3- and 4-year-old students. In August of 2023, we are excited to bring the transformational model into our UPK classrooms, which includes Head Start, preschool, and TK. Not only are we going to train them on the transformational model, but what should it look like and what should it sound like in a UPK classroom? In addition, we will also provide training for playful learning to all our UPK staff and administration. Following that playful learning training, we will also provide our staff with 3 additional sessions during the school year. In efforts to provide our students with a sense of belonging that inspires joy and a love for learning, we have purchased classroom furniture and material to support our instruction. Through the early education funding and UPK planning and implementation grant, we were able to upgrade many of our classrooms. Head Start and preschool classrooms will now include a calming area. We have also purchased natural wood furniture to create a more relaxing and age-appropriate environment. We have also purchased age-appropriate books to service our young learners of the age of 3. Our TK classrooms are going to mirror our Head Start and preschool classrooms to help students transition from one program to the other. Our TK classrooms will also include a calming area, natural wood furniture, natural wood tables and chairs, and also manipulatives to help develop fine and gross motor skills. We're excited also to bring a dramatic play area into our TK classrooms. We have been working closely with our community partners to build opportunities for our CVUSD employees. We held 2 informational meetings where employees throughout the district learned about the professional growth opportunities in early childhood. At those meetings, we informed attendees of the early education grant provided by RCOE. Between the 2 meetings, we had over 80 attendees. Of those 80 attendees, 39 applied and were granted up to $9,000 in grants to continue their education. CVUSD is leading the districts in grant award recipients in the Riverside County. The partnership with COD has opened the doors to our employees to enroll in hybrid early education classes. The most recent addition is our partnership with UCR. Beginning in late June, actually in 2 weeks, we will have our first CVUSD employee cohort that will begin their journey in earning their multiple subject credential and master's degree in 1 year. We have also been working with all our school communities to communicate our UPK expansions. We have been holding informational meetings at all our elementary school. We continue to advertise on social media, Food for Less and DMV, and be engaged in community events to help spread the word of our TK expansion. In late June and in August, we will hold a registration fair for our parents here at the district, which parents will have the opportunity to have on-site dental and mental screening for their students. Looking ahead for the next 2 years, we anticipate that in 24-25, we will have 500 TK students enrolled in our district. And in 25-26, we anticipate that we will have 800 TK students in our district. In order to prepare for the next 2 school years, we will continue with our strategic planning. We will continue to be meeting with our focus groups. We will continue to monitor our student enrollment with our departments and really looking into our classrooms, restrooms, and playgrounds. We will continue working with human resources to ensure that we have the adequate personnel to support the implementation. In August, we also realized that we need to support our teachers with instructional support. So we are looking into holding lesson studies with our instructional coaches for our TK teachers. And here's some more strategic planning that I won't go into detail because I know it's late. That way I can provide everyone with the opportunity for any questions if there are any.
Ms. Zamudio, thank you for your very thorough update on our UPK program. At this time, we'll open it up for board comments.
Question, but comment. Thank you for the presentation. Forgive us, it's late and it's long. But yeah, and again, I think it's great. My one concern, and just to make sure that we stay on top of the enrollments as we are, you know, that's my only one concern, but I think the rest of it, you know, looks good. And you know, find all those staff. I think we talked about it earlier. Staffing is going to be also another issue, but yeah, but good job.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, I think, just gonna jump into it. I think, Mr. Arredondo, I'll get right to you. Just kind of think that this might be an opportunity as we see declining enrollment and maybe really disseminated information into the community about what we're offering and taking advantage of building and grabbing young community children into these programs so that we continue to build our student body. But good job, Mr. Arredondo.
Yeah, good job on the presentation. Thank you for your work. And as talked before, I hope we get creative in how we fund some of the upgrades to the buildings and especially some of the restroom needs, because I know that some of our buildings are really, really old and the restroom inside of the classroom for our TKs is to me is really important as a safety concern. So hopefully, I know that you got a lot of work ahead of you. So thank you for your work.
Thank you.
Vargas?
Yeah, just a small comment. I really appreciate the kind of the mindfulness of identifying those partners to start creating that pipeline to hire staff. I think one thing we definitely have to start think about in terms of budget, you know, how do we attract those teachers to come to our district? So I know we've been doing that across the board, but something to keep in mind for the future. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Ms. Paz, you have anything? Anybody else have anything? Okay, thank you, Ms. Zamudio. That ends our agenda. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Do I have a second? I'll second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We stand adjourned. Yes, ma'am.